Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today we're talking love and marriage, Huntsville. Y'all know why y'all here. Anything I say is alleged in my very, very personal opinion. This is for entertainment purposes only. None of this is personal. The Copyright Act of 1976 is in the description box. Couple housekeeping meat and potato items. It is free to follow me. It is free to subscribe to this channel, Anonymous Tea. Free to subscribe to my other channel, Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the Tickety Talk as long as 47 allows it on Anonymous Tea Podcast. Free to follow me on the gram, on the Instagrammies, on Anonymous Reality Tea. It is also, y'all, free to share everywhere. It is free to repost. It is free to copy the link and share it to your friends, your foes, your everybody, right? So we need to talk about this Love and Marriage Huntsville article that came out, y'all. And you guys, you were this close to getting a Grammys video that I was about to drag some people, in particular Janelle Monáe, because what was that Michael Jackson tribute, and where was Usher and Chris Brown? Don't get me started, y'all. So I saved you. So I am going to read this article from Crystal Jordan, who sometimes does not like Melody Cherie Rogers. So we're going to see what she has to say, and then we'll react. So it says the following. It says, Melody Cherie Rogers made the right decision leaving Love and Marriage Huntsville. Love and Marriage Huntsville was introduced in 2019 as a reality series committed to highlighting Black excellence in a quiet country suburb. Initially, viewers were less than impressed with Huntsville, Alabama as a backdrop for intrigue, but Melody Cherie Rogers, then Holt, believed in her city and felt they deserved to be recognized. She connected with Carlos King and convinced him the city was growing with a thriving Black community led by entrepreneurial growth. The primary cast was blood related. College educated and handsome brothers. Maurice and Marceau Scott were married to Kimmy and Letitia respectively. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true, Crystal. No, Crystal Jordan. I'm not going to let you do that. Because Maurice and Kimmy were engaged on the show. They got married on the show. Let's not do that. They did not start off being married. Let's not do that. They were 7 years in to this situation. And had it not been for the show, some argue this marriage may not have happened. So the principal couple, Martell and Melody Holt, weren't related to the Scotts, but they were old friends. Martell and Melody resembled an African-American version of Ken and Barbie with their adorable children, but the entire cast resembled a Jack and Jill ad showcasing upper-middle-class Blacks focused on progression. Showcasing upper-middle-class Blacks. Okay, you know what? The couples combined their knowledge of real estate and construction to form an organization committed to revitalizing Huntsville. The first few episodes included group meetings with the Holts and Scotts working together on construction projects for their community, known as the Comeback Group. The friends talked about being a catalyst for encouraging other young minority families in Huntsville to become entrepreneurs and to prioritize generational wealth. I was impressed during my first interview with the ladies of LAMH in 2019 for Rolling Out magazine because they seemed so different from the other personalities on reality television. I asked them where they all found, handsome, smart, and career-driven husbands. And they shared their collective secret of finding a man just to be at a historical Black university. Just before I was ready to nominate the cast for an NAACP Image Award, there were grumblings that the star couple's marriage was in peril. Melody actually dropped her own tea on her own husband, Martell, while meeting with the Comeback Group, suggesting he was having an affair. From that moment forward, the focus of LAMH had shifted from these beautiful Black couples to trying to promote economic empowerment for the communities. Instead, was now focused in on a marriage riddled with infidelity. The show has since gone downhill. That's an understatement, Christelle. And Melody's decision to exit may have been the best one she made since her divorce from Martell. Martell is the culprit behind the failure of his marriage and LAMH. Martell's inability to be faithful in his marriage, even under the microscope of reality television, became the biggest focal point of the show. His infidelity was like a virus that infected his home and the homes of other couples. Instead of setting the tone for a strong young family striving towards being an exemplary representation of Black love and Black wealth, Martell fumbled the ball on his family and the aspirational potential of the show. The Holt's marriage ended in a painful divorce after Martell fathered a child with his mistress during the marriage. No, no, we're not going to do this. Mel left before she found out about any type of side baby, y'all. Can we do the research? The pain and embarrassment Melody endured gave the show a tainted energy filled with betrayal and mistrust. The breakdown of a picture-perfect looking couple, Martell and Melody inadvertently placed a magnifying glass on the other couple's marriages, and the Scotts struggled trying not to suffocate into the new conflicting culture of the show. Instead of celebrating the title, Love and Marriage, LAMH became a landscape for suspicious behavior in both business and social relationships. The couples bickered among themselves, and the sisterhood and brotherhood bonds were severed. Multiple blogs accused both Marceau and Maurice of having extramarital affairs also. From countless rumors, no one came up with any solid proof of either Maurice or Marceau's affairs, but they did have those vasectomies, though, after Martell got that side chick pregnant. But irreparable damage was done to the friend group, and things were never the same. Melody tried to move forward as a single woman, but everyone on the show was connected to Martell, so she was not able to escape the negativity connecting her with her ex. Exactly! The cast and fans of the show were shocked beyond belief when Martell shared what he was expecting, a son with his side chick, although she wasn't allowed to be filmed for the show. Thank you! Thank you! The side chick, the concubine, Grand Central has said time and time again, she signed away her rights, so why are we still entertaining this foolishness of her being on the show? An additional couple, Tiffany and Louis Whitlow, Big Lou, were introduced, but their marital relationship was immediately infected by the toxicity on the show, and before they knew it, they were at odds. Tiffany and Big Lou never gelled with the other couples and made the decision to leave for their mental health. Destiny Payton and husband LeBerick Williams joined around the same time as the Whitlows, but their marriage was over before the audience even put eyes on LeBerick. Destiny returned as a single woman, but her relationship with Melody was damaged beyond repair. It absolutely was. Friendship drama and scandal took over LAMH when her marriage ended in divorce due to infidelity, while Letitia and Kimmy's marriages remained intact. Although Melody believed their husbands were also unfaithful, destroyed the women's connection completely. Melody believed Letitia and Kimmy were both aware of Martell's infidelity and violated the girl code by keeping his secrets. New cast members such as Stormy Steele were expected to pick sides as soon as their feet touched LAMH soil, and Mel assigned herself the role of the general, keeping notes on loyalty and betrayal. By season 5, when Trish Arnett and her muscle-bound live-in boyfriend Ken joined the cast, there was not one drop of unity among the remaining cast. Even senior married couple Chris and Nell Fletcher couldn't bring any unity to the group, but instead ended up throwing their own brand of gasoline on numerous fires. This is embarrassing. Executive producer Carlos King seemed to have abandoned the idea of trying to make the series positive and resorted to storylines that were scandalous beyond his reputation. Yes! Finally, somebody's calling out Carlos King. Executive producer Carlos King seemed to have abandoned the idea of trying to make the series positive and resorted to storylines that were scandalous beyond his reputation. Thank you. Trish Arnett joined the show as an estranged married woman living with her new boyfriend for a show titled Love and Marriage Huntsville. It was clear this new addition, neither love nor marriage were priorities in the mission of the show. Social media fans joked that the show should have been renamed Arrest and Infidelity of Huntsville instead of Love and Marriage Huntsville because while the show didn't have a consistent vantage point on marriage, over 80% of the cast had posed for mugshots over the last 5 years. Martell was arrested on the premiere episode for alleged revenge plea against his ex-wife. Maurice had earned a mugshot for a DUI arrest. Stormy was arrested on alleged harassment, and Destiny was arrested for alleged check forgery. Mugshots of also other castmates began swirling around the internet, sparking concern. In addition to mugshots, there were instances of wanted criminals on the show. Letitia's cousin, Kiki Jabbar, joined the cast as a silent member of Melody's arsenal against Letitia. This isn't true either! Kiki had been around in the earlier seasons because she was used to go after Kimmy and others. Can you make it make sense? Here we go. Kiki was leveraged against Tisha, but instead of bringing her cousin down, she ended up featured on Crime Stoppers Huntsville for allegedly stealing from a local home goods store. Kiki insisted she was innocent in spite of the incriminated evidence and continued her vendetta against her cousin. She attacks Letitia at a family barbecue, throwing a cup of water in her cousin's face to the rest of the cast's chagrin. Kiki Jabbar's death cast a dark shadow on LAMH. So much show, y'all not even mention it. Unfortunately, Kiki passed away from unrelated circumstances, but the darkness of the show remained heavier than ever in her absence. In a final effort to connect with the audience and keep the show trending, Carlos introduced a former producer on the show named Sunny Meeks. In a strange break the fourth wall type of storyline, Sunny comes in from behind the scenes as a producer for Destiny and marries Destiny's ex-boyfriend, Moses. Well, I think that's a bit of a stretch. We need to call it for what it was with Moses, and that was an entanglement / friends with benefits that Destiny has romanticized more than her own time with LeBaric. Like, make it make sense. The fireworks from the strange threesome didn't excite the audiences the way intended. Neither was the audience excited about Trish and Ken, and fans' voice being exhausted by the drama. The risk has proved not to be worth the reward when Moses is sent back to jail for violating his parole during his time filming on LAMH. Destiny and Sunny continue bickering between the two of them, while Sunny flashes the ring she wrestled from Moses in the 2 months after she stopped communicating with Destiny. Entrepreneurial couple Stormy and Courtney quietly left the series, realizing the group was a distraction that could potentially destroy her successful business empire. Instead of exhibiting excellence, LAMH has become a backdrop of internal conflicts, toxic and even criminal behavior. Melody's intent when taking the project to Carlos was to show Black families in the South living their best lives and overcoming social setbacks. Instead, the cast has become each other's setbacks in more ways than one. The reputation of the show is no longer one that will empower and encourage. Instead, LAMH have become all too painful reminder of dysfunctional families and friend groups. As Melody attempts to rebuild her life after a public and hurtful divorce, I applaud her decision to move on from LAMH and the source of her pain. I think what should have been added to this article was how the reunion also is centered around Mel. How everyone has made Mel like the scapegoat of everything. I think also highlighting the fight at the Madani reopening of, now inserting violence into the show. And all of these things that continue to escalate, that took the show down, that took the show's reputation down. I am happy that Carlos King was called out. There are some alternative facts in this article, but nonetheless, everything's imploding. And up until this point, the only thing that we've really seen since, what is allegedly supposed to be filming of the show, even though there's still no press release, is, there's been some type of thing that Ken and Trish had that, or Trent had, and Ken and Marquez got into a fight. And then they had some type of hoedown that was the other night, which we saw Stormy and Courtney attended. So I don't know if they're going to be back on the show, even though they just quit and said it was too much for everything. Or because she might be back because she doesn't know the future of TikTok. That's an option as well. And then we saw Destiny that ran over there after her failed TikTok live. So, but it's like, so y'all are just going to keep filming events for people to get into it with? Like, that seems pretty lame. So, I don't know, ultimately for me, I just feel like it's weird that people who see this for what it is, people who are real and legit, who see this for what it is, whether you're a fan of Mel or not, knows that her leaving the show is the best thing that she could have done. Knows that her leaving and the show trying to once again make Mel the scapegoat, make Mel the focus. Mel realized this was going to be never ending. And ultimately, and I wish Crystal XO would have included the reunion, because really the cast admitting that they've known about the revenge P for years is like the icing on the cake. It's bad enough that y'all knew about Martell's cheating, but the icing on the cake is this revenge P, and how y'all tried to sell a storyline that it was no big deal. It was just a text message. You have Marceau confirming, in fact, it was a video. Martell was trying to distribute it, and then he caught himself basically kind of admitting that people saw it, right? And this is what's been alluded to of what Destiny's alleged bones, that she knows where the bones are buried, was this, intimate video of Mel and Martell at the time. And Martell is sitting up there gaslighting people and trying to redirect people and doesn't want to be held accountable. And it's so annoying and so frustrating, and nobody does anything. everyone just laughs it off and they're like, oh, that's just Martell being Martell. But it's like, y'all had an opportunity to really cuss his behind out and hold him accountable. And Mel is over it because Mel's thinking to herself, y'all, I was quiet while y'all sat there and laughed in my face while y'all knew this man was cheating on me, even though I have tea that y'all are also cheaters. And now y'all want to admit at this reunion all of a sudden that everything was Martell's fault about starting all the cheating rumors, although it did irreparable damage to my friendships with Tisha and Kimmy, because y'all kept blaming me even though y'all knew it was Martell. But now that y'all fallen out with Martell, now all of a sudden everything's back to being his fault. And now y'all want to play in my face. And now y'all want to defend, knowing about this revenge pee and all this and that. But when it was first presented, when the news broke, y'all all played in the face talking about you didn't know the details and innocent till proven guilty. And it's just a text message and all this and that, which is complete and utter hogwash as far as I'm concerned. And so then with that being said as well, nonetheless, you have a situation where it's still everybody let's attack Mel. Like Mel said, there's no resolutions for these storylines because what Carlos King wanted was a continuation to film for this 10th season that's still not been renewed officially. And wants the cast to use what took place at the reunion on whatever their attacks were against Mel to use that for the storyline heading into season 10. And nobody is, going to be authentic. And Mel said, skip it. Mel said, skip it. You're not about to use me again for yet another storyline. I've given you a million suggestions of things that you could show me and things I've got going on with my family, things I've got going on with my business. I've recommended high, powerful people to be on this show. Y'all didn't want to accept it. Y'all wanted to continue with this gutter route. Y'all rumored to have had Tisha's mom back on this show and all these things. So y'all not trying to improve anything. Y'all not trying to show black excellence. Y'all want this to go down, even lower than the pits of HELL at this point, worse than the Zeus Network, worse than things that are on Love and Hip Hop. Y'all want this to be so trashy and so disgusting that it is, going to do irreparable damage to where the show, whatever does end up getting, shown there's nothing, it's nothing but negativity. Nothing but negativity, nothing but fighting, nothing but inciting fighting. And this is what you want. And I just don't understand this obsession, with this fighting, with the sex, with who's a side chick, with the cheating. Like y'all really are, it's just so one-dimensional for me. There is no other, thing for Carlos King to do. And it's like, the rumor is Mel was even asked back, like even after she quit, allegedly. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what the streets are saying. But, it had to have been bad, really bad, if they're desperate for Mel. And I feel like they're going to continue to call Mel and ask Mel to come back, because I feel like they're not getting what they need from this cast. This cast is still going to ride on the same old. I don't care how much more now you post on social media. If you're not giving anything on the show, if you're not sharing your actual lives on the show, there is no point of the show. You don't have a show. And all of y'all were so lame and so one-dimensional of just making Mel the target for everything, making Mel the scapegoat for everything. And now that you take her, she takes herself out the equation. Now y'all are all, trying to run around and figure stuff out. Y'all shouldn't be asking the fans after 10 seasons what the people want to see. They want to see authenticity. They want to see reality. Y'all have all been hiding under everybody else's storylines, and if the show is just coming back for y'all to cause beef with the Fletchers and ride behind all the drama with Trish and Ken, that's gonna be lame. Y'all are supposed to be OGs and all these things and seasoned cast members, and y'all still are giving us absolutely nothing. But Carlos and production, y'all got nobody to blame but yourselves, because you've created an environment where you wanted to basically have a convicted ABUSER remain on this show and cause all this havoc, and have a situation where his ex-wife has told you repeatedly she was uncomfortable and you did nothing to remove him from the situation. And you completely ignored her boundary when she said she didn't want to film with him this season. And you still tried to force him upon her, not just at the season finale, but also at this reunion, because Mel knew the type of performance Martell was going to do, which was this gaslighting mess and calling her names and all this and that, and the continued disrespect. You continue to allow it, Carlos King, and that is on your watch, and that is why so many Black women are quitting all of your shows. So there is that. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.